They still feel the whole family is involved at this point, especially like we've been saying after the fact.
Rosie Franco's there with Craig, that excellent WFLA Fox Radio reporter you met last night. Rosie, what about the whereabouts of that vehicle? I know you've been checking Easy Pass. Tell us what you found out, or at least what your line of inquiry is.
Okay, furthermore, I'm going to talk to investigators tomorrow to find out if she had an E-Pass in her car, because that would indicate the many toll roads that she would have passed: the 408, the 417, the 528, the 520, and the Turnpike, which would have tracked her down and her activity during the time.
So we don't know yet where that vehicle, where that Pontiac went during the time, the 31 days presumably she had it, and her parents did not know where she was.
Right, but her house is very close to all of these roads, which she may in fact have that E-Pass.
Okay, what about the letter? Hold on, Craig, just a second. What about that letter that Casey, according to her father, wrote to her attorney? What was the purpose of that letter, Rosie, and what, to the extent that we know, what was she talking about? She didn't say my baby's at 614 9th Street.
Right. The letter came about in a phone call. Lee Anthony, her brother, actually asked her to write a letter about clues to search for Caylee. She seemed like she couldn't get that she didn't have time to actually write the letter, and she seemed disinterested in doing so. Now, George Anthony says that she did in fact write the letter, and the attorney has it. We didn't get that confirmation from the attorney. We don't know if it's going to be an extension of her convoluted story, or if there's going to be actual clues and details in the letter.
Gotcha. Jesse Grun now, Craig, it looks like the ex-fiance, the ex-cop, is admitting, according to Orlando reporters today, that he did not hear Caylee in the background when he spoke with Casey on the telephone toward the end of June.
No, that's not true, Geraldo. In fact, I have sources that are telling me that Jesse never backed away from his statement. Police did go back to him and say, "Are you 100% sure that you heard her in the background?" And he said, being a former police officer himself, "I am reasonably sure that I heard her." He couldn't be 100% sure.
Why? We don't know why he left the department, do we? We don't know why he left the department, do we?
I think that he had a couple of incidents with some people that he pulled over. I'm not really clear on the exact reasons, but it didn't seem as though he was in any trouble, Geraldo.
If I can just add on that,
the
the Orange County Sheriff's Department, Carlos Padilla, he actually did confirm to me, and he said that they were 100% sure that he did believe his story, that he heard Caylee on the other end of that phone.
Okay, well, DNA next week, Judge.
Well, I think that it's going to really be very indicative of what was in the back of that car. And by the way, this is why you need the feds involved. You lie to the feds, it's a crime, a la Martha Stewart. You say something to a local cop, it isn't necessarily something that they can prosecute you for.
Kimberly Guilfoyle, this trial will be 3 years old next Saturday.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I think they're going to be able to wrap this up, though, pretty quickly with the forensics. I think they have a very good case here, and they're obviously not telling us everything they have.
Rosie Franco, thank you. Craig Rivera, come home. Great job. We'll have Bolingbrook, Illinois next. We're going live there. Back live, my heroes, the Illinois couple who pretended to befriend Drew Peterson, the disgraced police sergeant, while working secretly with the Illinois State Police, are back with more dirt on the skunk of Bolingbrook in a moment. Before we get to them, though, Kimberly, your observations about the baby's father.
They lied about this babysitter, right? Zenaida Gonzalez didn't exist. So is it really that far-fetched that they're lying about the true identity of the father? This is no surprise here.
That it's not some dead fellow.
And why are they blaming on some guy that died?
You know, but what doesn't make sense is the baby is almost 3 years old, and there would have been no reason 3 years ago to deny the father. I suspect that what it is this woman, if she's partying in the pictures as Craig had picked them up, I think she's been around quite a bit.
Maybe
she may not have any
Okay, let me get now to Len and Paula. Here they are, my favorite twosome, and they've